They ignore you, not because you are weak, but because you are predictable. You speak clearly. You show your heart. You give your best intentions and wonder why they vanish after taking what they want. You give warmth. They give silence. You forgive. They repeat. You try harder. That is your mistake. When someone disrespects you and you continue to give them access, you are not being noble. You are being studied. And the conclusion they reach is this: you are safe to use. Let that sink in. There is no fairness in social power. Only leverage, only perception, only the quiet rules that nobody says aloud but everyone obeys. If your presence is too easy, your value drops. If your energy is too generous, your edge dulls. If your emotions are too visible, your control disappears. People are not drawn to kindness. They are drawn to mystery, to strength withheld, to the cold beauty of someone who is impossible to read, but impossible to forget. If they do not fear losing you, they will never desire you. This is not cruelty. This is structure. You were taught to be warm, to over-communicate, to repair what others break. But Machiavelli understood the truth you were never told. The more emotionally available you are, the more manipulable you become. People instinctively test what they do not respect. They ask for more than they deserve. They offer less than you need. Then they observe how much you tolerate. They are not doing it with hatred. They are doing it to measure you, to classify you, to know your weakness. That is why you must never respond emotionally. Emotion is what they use to shape you. Calm is what you use to break the pattern. Do not argue. Do not justify. Do not beg them to see your worth. That is the language of those who lose control. Silence is the reply of kings. Distance is the answer of power. Unpredictability is the weapon of those who will not be used twice. Your enemy is not the person who hurt you. Your enemy is the version of you that keeps explaining why you stayed. You are being watched more closely than you realize. Your reactions teach them how to treat you. Your availability tells them how little effort they must invest. Your forgiveness tells them how far they can push before consequences arrive or never do. If they can read you, they can reach you, and once they can reach you, they will twist you. To become unshakable, you must become unreadable. This is the first truth. Obsession is not built through presence, it is built through absence. To be wanted, you must become scarce. Not physically, psychologically. The mind obsesses over what it cannot fully grasp, what it cannot fully predict, what it fears it may lose but cannot control. When you are always available, always explaining, always responding, there is no tension, no chase, no depth. You are not felt as a force. You are seen as a background. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But the modern world misunderstands fear. It is not about intimidation. It is about gravity. It is about being the one they cannot afford to offend, the one they cannot quite figure out, the one they must calculate their words around. To become that, you must remove your emotional signature from your interactions. Never tell them what you feel. Show them what you allow. When someone gives you less than you require, do not complain. Disappear. Your silence will echo louder than any confrontation. When someone lies to you, do not expose them. Change how they experience you. Pull back. Remove warmth. Let them feel the cold consequence of dishonesty. Do not teach them with lectures. Teach them with withdrawal. This is how authority is built, not through words, but through rules enforced by behavior. And the most powerful rule is this: your attention is earned, not given. Your energy is expensive. Your time is sacred. Your access is not a gift. It is a privilege, and it can be revoked at any moment. People become obsessed with what they cannot own, so you must never allow yourself to be owned. Do not explain your silences. Do not fill the space with apologies. Let the distance do what your words never could. They must feel your loss before they value your presence. Every time you chase, you shrink. Every time you over-explain, you lower yourself to their emotional level. Every time you justify, you admit weakness. This is not about becoming cruel. It is about becoming controlled. There is a power in being unreadable. When they cannot tell if they have pleased you, if they have lost you, if you are drifting, they begin to orbit you. Their mind fills in the silence with questions, with fears, with fantasies. That is where obsession is born. Machiavelli did not believe in moral purity. He believed in outcomes. If kindness creates loyalty, use it. If silence creates fear, use that too. Your emotional neutrality must become absolute. Do not react. Do not flinch. Let your boundaries speak where your words end. Because people do not remember what you said. They remember how they felt when you finally went quiet. They will run scenarios in their head. They will create explanations. They will rehearse the last moment they saw you. They will obsess over the silence you left behind. And when they return, if they return, you do not reward them with open arms. You observe, you measure, you control the rhythm of your response. Because now, they know the cost of losing you. You were once the one who waited, who asked, who hoped. Now, you become the one they wait for, the one they wonder about, the one they try to reach but cannot quite hold. Power begins with reversal. They must feel that your center cannot be shaken, because you are no longer operating from emotion. You operate from position. Most people live in reaction. You must live in intention. This is how you take the throne in any relationship. Not by volume, not by charm, but by stillness. Controlled, intentional, silent stillness. You must stop offering yourself like a solution to their emptiness. You are not their comfort. You are their question. Give just enough, then vanish. Speak just enough, then pause. Reward unpredictably. Withdraw suddenly. Minds are shaped by uncertainty. That is where desire builds. They must never feel that they can predict your rhythm. Predictability is the death of mystique. When they can read you, they will reduce you. They will stop reaching. They will stop valuing. But if they must guess, they will think of you longer. They will watch your smallest moves. They will interpret your silences as signals. They will try to win you, even if they never admit it. You are not here to soothe them. You are here to shift them. To become this, you must erase your need to be liked. That is the first weakness they test for. And if they see that weakness, they will never stop pushing. Approval seeking is an open wound. It bleeds power. And Machiavelli warned, never allow others to feel they can control you through praise or blame. You must become indifferent to validation, not hostile indifferent. If they compliment you, smile slightly, then change the subject. If they criticize you, pause, look at them calmly, and say nothing. Let the discomfort fall on them. Your silence must feel heavier than their approval. That is when they understand. You are no longer on the emotional leash they try to pull. From this place, you begin to draw them in, not through noise, through gaps, strategic absences, measured words. The confidence of someone who has nothing to prove and everything to control. This is not performance. This is not game. It is war by other means. A quiet war for psychological space, for emotional terrain. You must dominate the rhythm of your interactions. That is how obsession is built. They must feel that every moment with you could be their last, that your affection is a rare element, that your time is not guaranteed, because what is scarce becomes sacred. You do not chase. You select. You do not explain. You demonstrate. You do not hope. You calculate. And every time they feel they are losing you, every time they sense the door could close, their investment increases. Their attention sharpens. Their behavior improves. This is how you train them, without ever saying a word. Respect is not given. It is enforced through absence. Power is not loud. It is not aggressive. It is not theatrical. True power is still. It is calm. It is seated deep in someone who does not flinch, who does not explain, who does not need anything but who could take everything. When you walk into a room, you do not announce yourself. You observe. You let them feel your lack of need, and in that absence, They feel pressure. They do not understand why they shift in their chair, why their voice changes, why they begin to explain themselves to you, but you do. You are watching the gravity form. This is what Machiavelli understood. That dominance is not volume. It is precision. It is the art of saying nothing and forcing others to reveal everything. Let them talk. Let them confess. Let them show their insecurities, their contradictions, their subtle desires. You do not interrupt. You do not fill silence. You collect information. Because in the world of power, knowledge is leverage. And leverage is how you bend the world without force. You must become a mirror with sharp edges. Reflect them, but never expose yourself. Let them see pieces of themselves in you. Then pull back before they can fully connect. Obsession grows in that space, in the half-formed attachment, in the emotional cliffhanger, in the open loop you never close. You give only what keeps them hungry. It is not manipulation, it is architecture. You are building a dynamic in which you are the scarce element, the uncertain factor, the controlled flame. When people cannot predict you, they pay attention. When they cannot define you, they obsess. When they cannot move you, they respect you. So you must become emotionally silent, not numb. Silent. There is a difference. Numbness is weakness. It is retreat. But silence is a decision, a signal, a weapon. When they expect you to react and you do not, you win. When they try to provoke you and you remain still, you control. When they demand closure and you offer a pause instead, you dominate the rhythm. And rhythm is everything. He who controls the rhythm controls the emotional outcome. Most people beg. Most people explain. Most people panic when faced with distance. You become the opposite. You make them wait. You make them wonder. You make them adjust. Because they begin to realize your attention is not available on demand. It must be earned, preserved, and respected. This is the beginning of psychological gravity. They begin to orbit you, check for signs, replay old conversations, create meaning where there was only silence, rewrite the story just to feel close to you again. And all you did was say less, offer less, withhold just enough. You have become the riddle they cannot solve, and nothing obsesses the human mind more than a pattern it cannot complete. To control others, you must first control yourself. You must kill the part of you that flinches when ignored. Kill the part that needs answers. Kill the part that wants to be understood. Machiavelli did not write for the hopeful. He wrote for survivors, for rulers, for those who realize that emotion, when unguarded, is the leash others use to lead you away from your own throne. Your pain must become private, your disappointment invisible, your longing erased. You are not here to be seen. You are here to be felt and missed. This is not about becoming cold for the sake of cruelty. It is about becoming unreachable for the sake of clarity. Because once you are too reachable, you become dispensable. People only value what they fear losing, and they only fear losing what they never fully possessed. If they feel they understand you, they stop pursuing. If they feel they own you, they stop respecting. If they feel they can predict you, they stop thinking about you. You must destroy that comfort. Do not post your every thought. Do not reveal your every move. Do not showcase your life like an open window. Shut the curtain, light the candle, let them wonder. Let them scroll and find nothing. Let them ask others where you have gone. Let them feel the cold air where your presence once was. This is not absence. This is positioning. It is how kings walk away without losing the room. How rulers are missed more than they are seen. How you turn silence into a presence louder than noise. People crave what they cannot reach. So become unreachable not physically, but emotionally. You can be in the same room and still untouchable. You can speak with kindness and still remain a mystery. You can offer connection and still withhold yourself. That is the line you must walk. Close enough to ignite desire, distant enough to maintain control. Emotional distance is your fortress. It is where you think clearly, act strategically, observe without being pulled. You do not correct them when they misunderstand you. You do not rush to clarify. Let them wonder what you meant. Let them misinterpret. Let them doubt themselves. Your value is not in how clear you are. It is in how unforgettable you become. And nothing lingers longer than someone who leaves questions behind. They will replay your pauses, reinterpret your tone, ask others for insight. But the truth is, the mystery is the message. You are not a story they get to finish. They get fragments, they get impressions, they get the echo of what you could have been if they had valued you in time. That is how you build obsession, not by giving all of yourself, but by becoming the chapter they can never close. When someone disrespects you and nothing changes, you have taught them that you are powerless. So you do not speak of respect, you enforce it. Not with arguments, not with anger, with removal. Remove the smile, remove the warmth, remove the effort, remove the presence they once took for granted. Do not announce it, do not explain it. Let the absence bleed through the cracks of their routine. Let them feel the punishment not as revenge, but as a correction. You are not their source of comfort anymore. You are the void they created by failing to treat you correctly. This is how value is taught. Through scarcity, through silence, through consequences that arrive without warning and without return. Machiavelli warned that mercy, when shown too quickly, invites betrayal. People test boundaries not with malice, but with curiosity. They push to see where you bend. They lie to see if you confront. They take to see if you notice. You must always notice, but you must never react. The weak react. The powerful restructure. Restructure the dynamic. Restructure the access. Restructure their perception of who you are. When they begin to question whether they have lost you, you are winning. When they hesitate before they speak, you are in control. When they ask others what happened to you, your silence has spoken. That is how you teach them. Do not be emotional. Be surgical. Remove the piece of you they once depended on. Then watch them attempt to recreate the connection. But this time, it will cost them. They will offer more, say more, try more. Because now they know the price of underestimating you. This is not manipulation, this is correction. You are correcting the equation of power they thought they understood. Before, they believed you would always be there. Now, they remember what it feels like when you are not. And they do not like it. Your goal is not to punish. Your goal is to install memory. A psychological scar that reminds them your absence is worse than any argument. Most people use words to change behavior. You use distance, because words invite negotiation. Distance does not. Once you become indifferent, you become untouchable. Once you stop needing, you become magnetic. Once you stop explaining, you become remembered. You want them to think of you in silence, to scroll through your old messages, to rehearse what they should have said, to wonder if they ever had you at all. That is the seed of obsession. It grows in regret, in mystery, in the space between what they wanted and what they lost. And you never return to who you were before. That version of you no longer exists. The one who overgave, the one who over-explained, the one who waited. Dead. Now, there is only this. Calm, unreadable presence. Final in tone. Sharp in silence. Disconnected yet unforgettable. They will feel it. You are no longer the one who explains. You are the one who is explained. Let them build their stories about you. Let them invent reasons. Let them twist their memory to justify why you disappeared, why your tone changed, why they no longer feel safe in your presence. Do not correct them. Do not give closure. You owe them nothing. Machiavelli understood that power is never granted freely. It is taken through presence, enforced through consequence, and maintained through control. Emotional control is the final barrier, and you must master it completely. You do not respond to bait. You do not fall for apologies dressed as manipulation. You do not melt at the sound of guilt. When they try to pull you back, When they say they miss you, when they ask what happened, you hold the line. Not out of spite, out of principle. You do not go back to comfort when it cost you your clarity. You do not reattach to what made you small. You do not abandon your power to feel momentary warmth. Instead, you become colder, not frozen focused. They will not understand you. That is the point. They are not meant to. They are meant to remember the silence, the pause, the absence that carried more weight than their presence ever did. Obsession is not love. It is not lust. It is not admiration. Obsession is fear wrapped in desire. It is control lost. It is rhythm broken. It is the echo of someone they thought they owned now out of reach. You become their unfinished sentence, their unanswered call, their invisible teacher. And if they ever see you again, they will sit up straighter. They will speak more carefully. They will weigh every word, because now they know they are being measured. Your aura has shifted. They feel it. People always do. They feel the coolness in your eyes, the calm in your voice, the sharpness behind every pause. And they know this is not someone who begs. This is not someone who pleads. This is not someone who will ever let themselves be underestimated again. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be remembered. And when they lay awake, it will not be your words that echo. It will be the silence. The silence that taught them everything they needed to know.